You didn't know that one of your jobs is buy us all this table. That's the informal Marty Webb table bylaws.
Yeah.
I'm testing the white light.
Exactly.
You have to speak your phone out.
Oh, I gotta make sure to shut it off. I never did.
Never, you don't ever do.
No, I shut it off.
Good morning, fellow Rotarian Sunrisers. Welcome to our meeting of November 8th, 2017. We are glad you're here. For the pledge this morning, Diana.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And thought for the day, Mr. Nick Randall.
We all know, we all know that you should do the right thing. But which right thing? The right thing financially? The right thing socially? The right thing politically? Or the right thing ethically and morally? Each of us needs to take a hard look in the mirror and decide who we are. And then go out and do the right thing.
Thank you, Nick. And for my additional thoughts, again, I think I told you last week, I'm reading John Adams by, can't remember his name, but wrote 1776 and yeah, that guy. Anyway, John Adams defended the British troops after they had fired on American citizens during the Boston Massacre. Was widely criticized for it, but he, in defending them, he said, "Facts are stubborn things. Whatever may be our wishes, our inclinations, or the dictates of our passions, they cannot alter the state of facts and evidence."
Okay.
Joe.
On that note,
So,
all right, this is a special one, folks, so pay attention. Pay attention, right, Bill? We're going to rely on technology here. We flew Ken Brandt in for this. All right, urgent.
well,
On we go to the sun.
All the words.
attaboys, give her the gun, give her the gun. Down we die, sparking the flame from under, up with one hell of a roar. We live in fame, we'll get out in flame. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. That was mine. As the caissons go rolling along, countermarch right about here, the wagon soldiers shout as the caissons go rolling along. For it's high, high in the field artillery, count up your numbers out in front, up and away we go.
You will always know that
You will change key on the caissons go rolling along. Anchors away. Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college days, we we sail at break of day. On the joy, until we meet once more in which we're happy voyage home. The tough one is going to be when we get to Coast Guard. Who knows the Coast Guard one? Ready for the call, we place our trust in thee. Through surf and storm and howling gale, high shall our purpose be. Oh yeah! Your purpose is our guide, our fame, our glory too. To fight, to save or fight and die. By Coast Guard, we are for you. Hey, Coast Guard. Okay, Marine Corps. From mountains to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles on the air and land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor free. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines. Okay.
Once again, right now, he gets the best.
You may be seated in honor of,
Superfluous today, huh?
this is obviously Veterans, the week of Veterans Day. Unlike many of our holidays, Veterans Day has always remained on the same day. Know what that day is?
November 11th.
And what is the significance of November 11th?
11th hour, 11th day, 11th month. World War
Somebody get Marty a mic. He knows it. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, World War II declared an armistice. World War I declared an armistice, and it was the cessation of hostilities. It was originally called Armistice Day and was for quite a while, but then it transitioned after the war to end all wars stopped and World War II started. They began calling it Remembrance Day. In some countries, it's been moved to the closest Sunday to November 11th, and it's called Remembrance Sunday. How is it different from Memorial Day? What was Memorial Day originally? It was called Decoration Day, right, Joe? And for what war was that?
Civil War.
Civil War. Decoration Day was a day set aside for everyone to go out and honor veterans that lost their lives on both sides and decorate the graves of fallen soldiers from the Civil War initially that evolved to become all wars. Whereas Veterans Day celebrates all who have served and are serving, veterans that are still alive, current military, and those that passed on. Memorial Day is really only for folks who have served and passed on, either in service to their country or after the fact. So, now that you're all sitting down, everybody get up and go around and greet somebody. Or just greet somebody if you can.
Recognize one instant, you know you're in trouble with that.
Mr. President-elect Matt Whitman. Do you have any visiting Rotarians with us this morning?
We do indeed, Brother Bill. We have
Steve Damon, I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name, Santa Rosa Sunrise, retired contractor. Thank you, Dave.
Wait a minute, let's do that one over again. Steve, would you mind standing again?
Steve Amon from Santa Rosa Sunrise, retired contractor. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you.
Good. We have another Amon. Anyway, and Tom Bowe from the Sebastopol Club. Tom, welcome.
Morning, Tom.
Development. There you have it.
Oh, I thought,
Another
we have 2 or 3?
Got
Ah, okay.
2. Today I'm right.
Okay. And do we have any guests this morning? Mic people?
We have David Colts today, a neighbor of Bill's, and a musician.
Thank you for having me here. And also, Jim Corbett, also known as Music Man, who did all those words. Mr. Musician.
And we also have my son, Matthew Carson, who's left the room, so I don't know what's going on.
Good morning. I am happy to announce as guests, I hope for the very last time, because I think after this they'll be members. We have John Palusis, and we have Barbara.
Good morning.
Good morning, Barbara and John. So thank you for this morning's greeters, Dan Needham and Al Lustig. Did a great job welcoming everybody. And thank you, the November 8th Mike team, Alan Bertozzi and Matt Whitteman. Now, you didn't have to wait long for your wish, Gail. We have a new member introduction. So, John and Barbara, would you come up and join us up here, please? And our member chair, Kathy, will be doing our inductions. Come on over up here. And Gail was their sponsor.
Yay, Gail.
Do you have one? Oh, you got that.
All right, I'm getting close.
You got that?
Fellow Rotarians and honored guests, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Sebastopol Sunrise, it's my privilege to induct 2 new members today. Please allow me to introduce John Palusis, Barbara Vogelsang, and their sponsor, Gail Thomas. John and Barbara, you are beginning a great adventure of leadership and friendship in service to our community and our fellow man. You've been invited to membership, and the Rotary Club of Sebastopol Sunrise has accepted you as persons of good character, high ethical standards, persons who have the heart of service. John will represent the classification of hospital management as a leader in our community, and Barbara, the classification of Chief Nursing Officer as a leader in our community. Your sponsor, Gail Thomas, has extended the hand of friendship and invited you to become part of a worldwide organization dedicated to encouraging and fostering the ideal of service as a basis of worthy enterprise. Gail, I would like to present you a sponsor pin as recognition for sponsoring John and Barbara. John and Barbara, John and Barbara, you have been invited to join our Rotary Club, but it will be through your own actions that you become a Rotarian. We encourage you to learn all you can about Rotary and to strengthen your own leadership and communication skills by actively participating in the activities of the club, including attending weekly meetings, social events, and service projects. And you'll be, given many opportunities through our club. Service, vocational service, community service, new generation service, and international service, known as our 5 avenues of service. We are known for our great work in our community, and we've been involved in Sebastopol and West County for many years, both locally and international projects. So we welcome you, and through your membership, you will enjoy a network of business leaders, professionals, and we commit ourselves to do our part in making you feel welcome in our club. When you join Rotary, you're becoming part of something bigger than yourself. Beyond enriching our own lives and the lives of our family members, the relationship we build foster understanding across communities and cultures around the globe. And I am proud to be a Rotarian, and it's my pleasure to provide you with pins by which your fellow Rotarians and the community at large will recognize you as a Rotarian, and we ask that you wear it proudly every day.
Gail, while she's doing that, would you like to tell us a little bit about the 2 members you...
I'd be delighted to. I first met John as he was I've forgotten what you called it, John, but at any rate, he was in charge of all of the various ancillary services at the hospital. And when the hospital was at a fairly low point this past spring, he stepped up to the plate and agreed to be the CEO, which was an amazing thing for him to do, and he has done an absolutely remarkable job. This past month, the hospital showed its first profit, its first positive statement for its month in, I cannot remember how long. So we are indeed pleased to have John in a position of leadership in the hospital. One of the things he's done that's really remarkable is to bring in an amazing leadership team. And among his leadership team is this lady who has done an equally amazing job at organizing and keeping the nursing staff and all of the staff at the hospital going forward. And I am so proud of both of them. I'm particularly proud, I think, as you've heard me say, for the work they did during the fire, and the fact that these are the 2 people that organized that hospital to rise to the occasion and serve 544 patients in the 10 days of the fire, which is a volume that you would expect from a 100-bed hospital, not a 37-bed hospital. So we have, as a community, a right to be very, very grateful to these 2 individuals.
So, fellow Rotarians, I invite you to rise and join with me in welcoming our new members.
Now here's the work. You get the shovel. Oh, I'm sure there's a stranger to that.
Okay, Bill's Beatles tie of the week. Take a look at it. Richard, you got it.
Long and winding staircase. Music to my ears.
Isn't that like Rotary? I mean, it's just a long and winding road that we take and... Thank you. And join and meet people all around the world. And it's a long and winding road, but when we get to that door, it's an amazing time. So, I have a fine opportunity. Somebody lose a cell phone? What do you think that's worth?
$1,000. Is it an X model? Is it an Apple X? $1,000?
Auction it off, auction.
Hey, he can buy an X.
$10. You'll go easy on
Good
him.
thing you're retired, holy cow.
I guess all your law information that was confidential now then. Louis, your attorney, check.
So, this day in history, on November 8th, 1519, was the day that Hernán Cortés entered Tenochtitlan and first met the head of the Aztecs. He later betrayed them and killed them all. Yeah, nice.
Celebrate kind of guy.
On a more positive note, November 8th, 1966 was the day that Edward Brooke, the first African-American elected to the Senate since the days of Reconstruction. And how about November 8th, birthdays in history? Margaret Mitchell in 1900. Margaret Mitchell, of course, known for writing Gone with the Wind. She was also a journalist for the Atlanta Journal and wrote there for many years, and it was all about the Old South. She was born and raised in Atlanta, and the Gone with the Wind was the only novel that was published during her lifetime. There have been some other collections of writings that she wrote since then. But she began writing it in 1928, and it took her 3 years to do it. But it's the second most popular book according to a survey by somebody behind the Bible. Somebody researched, anyway. Also born this day in 1931, Morley Safer. Morley Safer first came to prominence during the Vietnam War when he broke a story about American soldiers killing women and children, and he was referred to Richard Nixon as a communist. And one of his aides told him, no, he's not a communist, he's a Canadian. Nixon said, same difference. That was our president. Okay. Rotarian birthdays. He's not here. He's off somewhere.
He's in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. So we'll find him when he gets back.
Is he from?
And coming up, it's going to be, it's going to be Nat's birthday.
How about that?
What are you going to be doing?
I'm not sure. I guess my family will decide. That decision's not mine to make, but I'm sure we'll have a good time.
No, that'd be $15 for whatever you do. Who was here that wasn't here last week? Andrea, where's Andrea? You weren't here last week, were you? What did you do? Where were you last week?
I was sick.
Sick? Yeah, and why were you sick? Did you learn about Halloween? I've heard a story that perhaps you may have overindulged eating Halloween candy.
A little bit.
I hope you're feeling well now.
Yeah, I was just Wednesday in the morning.
Yeah. Did you go trick or treating?
No, we went to a friend's house and we had all the candy there. He just locked it when we ate it.
So instead of giving it to the kids, you ate it yourselves?
I mean, we're technically still kids, right?
Do they celebrate Halloween, All Hallows Eve in Italy?
Yeah, we did candy.
Also getting candy and stuff?
Yeah, trick or treating and stuff.
Yeah, okay. Good. Well, glad to have you back.
Thank you.
We also went on a Blues Busters trip, which was postponed when all the inbound students are get together. We haven't seen each other as a group since the summer. So,
That next week. He didn't get it to me in time.
so anyway, he enjoyed time hanging out in San Francisco and elsewhere.
We also have a Rotarian anniversary. Larry! 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 Larry!
What now? What now?
So it is your Rotary anniversary, November 8th, 17 years ago, you joined our club. And again, providing us with fabulous breakfast ever since.
I'll be almost 17 in a couple of weeks, so, because I'm gonna turn dyslexic, so I figure it's almost 17 now. But, so, okay, Rotary anniversary.
Happy Rotary anniversary, that'll be $10.
Thank you.
Do we have any happy bucks from anybody? Well, friends, I have some better information from last week. I told you my son had the diagnosis, had multiple diagnoses, and last week it was assumed to have been a tumor. They were about to start chemo, and his oncologist called and said, hold the phone, we're not going to be starting chemo. We think that instead of a tumor, you have what is called hypertrophic olivary degeneration. So rare, I can't find, I right away went on the internet trying to find it. It apparently comes for no apparent reason, frequently associated with a head injury, but Glenn didn't have a head injury, so we don't know why it came, but typically heals itself over a period of time, 2 to 4 years occasionally. This has been an emotional roller coaster for our family through all of the different diagnoses, and we're just hoping and praying that this is the right one and that it does go away. So he'll be starting some physical therapy and things like that. So anyway, good news from Glenn. Anybody else have some good news? Linton, would you like to share, or you don't have to? Okay, all right. Michael.
Yeah, some happy bucks because I was just hanging up from a phone planning a project launch in Nepal, and my phone rings and it's a strange number, and I'm wondering, should I answer this at all? Is this a junk call? And it turns out it's the president-elect of a club in Guyana. So I surreptitiously Googled Guyana to find out where exactly is it. Turns out it neighbors Venezuela, so I thought it was in Africa or something, but no. So I'm finding out my geography is getting sharper as we go along, and this guy wants to start a telemedicine project in Guyana, so we're hoping to develop that relationship.
A number of us attended the Rotary Foundation on Saturday night, representing our club. Our club was mentioned a number of times, always frequently in the top 10 for various levels and types of giving, whether it was to polio or annual fund, and we can be very proud that our per capita giving is as high as it is for a relatively small club here. In that, people that made donations from the start of this Rotary year until the night of the event, you got raffle tickets based on the number of dollars that you gave, and there were some drawings. And almost everybody walked off, and I was able to claim them for you. So, Michael Cook. I hope it's something good inside. The others were all kind of big baskets, but so.
Like a floppy disk.
Could be. And then Mark Olson, who is not here. Mark is certainly deserving of some recognition there. And Patrick.
Patrick? Hey, you're the big
He
leader.
left early and he got this fantastic basket with cheese and crackers and wine.
Rich, get richer.
Oh, did he? That's worth $10. Yeah.
I'll buy it again for 10. All right.
Okay. Were there any other happy bucks? We'll bring this to Mark next week if he comes. Any other happy bucks? If not, let's move on to announcements. Oh, hey, Richard.
So Bob Rogers, our district governor, is creating a disaster preparedness committee, and for this meeting, after this meeting, right here in the city. And if you'd like to be involved in it, let me know.
I should give you another wine glass.
Okay. Announcements. November 10th and 11th, this Friday and Saturday at the Arlene Francis Center is going to be a North Bay Fire Aid concert. Also on November 10th, Friday night, up here at Gravenstein Grill, there's a fundraiser from 6 until they close, $100 to get in. The North Bay Fire Aid, it's donation only, so you can give whatever you want, but there's 10 or 20 different bands there on 2 different nights. We don't have a meeting on November 22nd. We do have some other announcements. Mr. Music.
First of all, we had a very successful fire benefit at Ives Park on October 21st. And we were able to raise like $25,000. And finally, we won one of our raffle prizes from Cultivate Home, Kathleen Mayhew's store on Main Street. And we now have scheduled on November 19th a firefighter appreciation day down at the Spasco Community Center from 2 to 6. We have bands all day. It's a full event, so you can just pop in, buy a raffle ticket, and all the money raised from that is going to support the firefighters and first responders who lost their homes while they were out fighting the fire. So,
sure.
And then Mr. Music Foundation is kicking the Sebastopol Police Officers Association $1,000 this year. They have a scholarship fund that funds students at Laguna High School because they felt that the kids there don't have as many opportunities to get scholarships for whatever reason. So they've had an ongoing scholarship fund for that. So we wanted to put $1,000 in the name of Jeff Weaver, our retired. And when I told Chief Conworth that I would say not only put out Mr. Music's contribution, but try to find matching funds from either individuals or groups of folks who wanted to match that. And I think, especially for the kids of Laguna, and to really honor Jeff, who did a fantastic job in our city, it would be an appropriate thing to do. So I don't know how to go about that, but anyway, I'm pitching it. So come on, and that's it. Yeah.
Thank you, Jim. So, November is Rotary Foundation Month. And so our speaker this morning is going to be our own Alan Bertone.